Good afternoon, friends. Just hopping on to share our instructional video for today. Today is Friday, April 17th. It's the last day of NTI day 4, or I'm sorry, NTI week 4. We're working on fluency today. That means being quick and accurate. So they're working on math fluency. That means how quickly and accurately can they solve these word problems. And reading fluency, how quickly and accurately can they read these words. This is something that we work on all year long. And the goal is to get them to be able to just look at it or hear it and be able to answer it correctly right away. Many of them won't be able to do this right now just because it is tricky. But the goal for them is just that if they do it at a certain amount of time this week, that maybe next time you practice it, they know it just a little bit quicker, so that each time you're practicing sounding out words or doing math facts, they're getting a little more quick with each time that they do it. So that's why we practice fluency. Their reading and writing page is on the same page today. They are going to be reading Dan's Tan Van and answering the questions down here. This is a little bit tricky for some of them. I know some of our kiddos, it's so funny. They like to tell me that they can't read, even though I know they know all their letters and their sounds. And they'll probably try to tell you the same thing too, that they don't know how to read. But sit with them and encourage them to really try to sound out the words. Many of these words are words that they'll be able to sound out. So encourage them to try to sound them out. Of course, if it's way too tricky and they get frustrated, you can help them and tell them what the word is. But really encourage them to try to look at the word, stretch it out, and Dan, and see if they can read the words on their own. There are some sight words in here too that they should know. So hopefully they'll be able to read this on their own. But of course, if they need some prompting and support, you are able to give that to them. There's an option down here for crayons because all their answers should come from the story up here. If you have crayons, you can use the crayons to underline in red, orange, and green where they found their answers up here. If you don't have crayons, that part's not super important. The most important part is them trying to read this up here on their own and then using what they read to answer the questions down here. And of course, with their writing, we want to make sure that they're using capital letters at the beginning of sentences, using those finger spaces between their words so it doesn't look like one big long word, and then putting punctuation at the end and making sure they're using their best handwriting, starting at that top line, going all the way down to the bottom if it's capital or a tall letter, starting at that dotted line and going all the way down if it's a short letter, and swinging those letters down in the basement if it's a letter that swings. And then their math today is 20 frame counting. So they are just going to be counting the dots that are in the 10 frames. So they'll count each dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if you have scissors and glue, you can cut the numbers out down here and glue them in the box. If you don't have scissors and glue, then don't worry about cutting and pasting. They can just use their pencil to write the number in the box. Some of your kiddos might just automatically know that this is 10 right here. So they might just say 10, 11, 12. And if they count like that, that's perfectly fine also. Either way, they can count one by one or start at 10 and then count on. If you have any questions about any of the worksheets today, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I hope you guys have a fabulous Friday.